Hello and welcome everybody to another Let's 100% It. My name is Monkey and this time we're going to do a 100% Resident Evil Requiem guide. But before we start with the guide and its structure, I would like to know from you, how do you like Resident Evil so far? Did it match with your expectations? My favorite is still RE2 Remake, but what is your all-time favorite so far? Let me know down in the comments. But now some explanations of how this guide is structured. The base game has 49 achievements in total, and I call it base game as in the future there might be DLC releases or updates in general that will extend today's achievements. This time I tried to put achievements and collectibles into categories, and the categories are my personal opinion and can be defined different for each and every one of you, but they should give you a feeling how hard it is to get this achievement. There are achievements and collectibles that technically can't be missed, but they are still covered for completion and to put them into context. There are also achievements and collectibles that technically could be missed, but they're pretty fair to be collected. This does not mean they're not hidden, but it means you could have found them if you took yourself some time for exploring. There are also achievements and collectibles that are significantly harder to find or where you could be blocked out by accidentally walking too far without manually triggering anything. Last but not least, there are also collectibles that are bound to specific game versions like the Digital Deluxe Edition, even though there are technically no achievements. I also included the final puzzle into this guide, which is not a Steam achievement itself, but it's a challenge in the game. I did not fully solve this by myself, but I tried to make a connection on how you could read out information in-game. I tried to put the achievements into a logical sequence, so it would be possible to get all of them in one run as there are no real chapters existing for reloading. Every achievement and collectible can be found in this guide, some with more and some with less explanation. At the end, the goal was to have a guide that is not only showing you where to find something, but also how to get there based on your last location. Some of the achievements or collectibles are based on information or locations that have been discovered or discussed directly before. Everything that did not fit into my guide at this point was excluded and explained afterwards. My recommendation is to play the game in regular classic difficulty. But with this being said, don't expect to do everything in one run and you will be fine. Have fun with the guide. You start a game as Grace walking through the streets of Wynwood. Believe it or not, here you can find your first file already. Simply walk along the street and you will eventually get to the information sign. You need to interact with the Wynwood City guide and got your first collectible. If you walk further down the street, you trigger a cutscene and can't go back. After the cutscene with the cop on the street, you need to get inside the abandoned hotel. Latest after the kitchen area, you are asked to check the investigation report you have in your inventory to get your next collectible. You don't need to check it story-wise, so I don't know if it's missable. After finding the key and the message to go to room 204, you can open the door to the hotel lobby right next to you. If you walk inside, you will find a hotel pamphlet in the middle of the lobby, which is your next file. Hard to miss, but still missable. Before going upstairs, you should check the reception first. Left behind of it, you can find a half-open door named Office on it. Walk in and check the drawer of the table and you will find a notice of closure, which is your next file. If you turn around to the right side, you can also find the Wynwood Hotel floor plan, which is a map for this area. It is not related to achievements, but still nice to have for orientation. After going upstairs and going through the memory of Grace, you will get back to reality and need to find Alyssa's journal. Get out of the room downstairs, move the trolley away and check the painting on the wall in the lobby. To my knowledge, this file is not missable as it's story related, but after examining the journal, you collected everything with Grace and Wynwood and can move on. For the sixth and last file of Wynwood, you will need to continue playing and finish Grace Park. After the cutscene with Leon, you will have the missing file in your file list and can check it from there. Literally unmissable. During the Leon part in Wynwood City, you will experience an outbreak of the virus. While fighting through the streets, there will be enemies dropping weapons, for example an fire axe. If there are other enemies in reach, you can interact with it and throw the weapon on one of your opponents. Doing this the first time will get you the achievement "Can I borrow this?" You can get this achievement also in other areas where zombies drop throwable weapons for Leon. Still in Renwood, you can also get the Untouchable achievement already if you simply parry an attack. The same counts for Chop Chop, for which you need to kill 3 zombies by using the headshot finisher tech. While you can get both of them in Renwood City already, you might notice that in my case I got both of them in Leon's next playable area in Roseville Care Center. In theory, you can get both of the achievements anywhere where you can use Leon's headshot. After finishing the Renwood City mission with Leon, you trigger a cutscene and with it also the achievement Deja Vu. The achievement is not missable if you finish the game. After getting back to play Grace, you will find yourself upside down in room 203 of the Roseville Care Center. After getting back on your feet, you should check the table in the middle of the room. On it, you will find a notepad with some progress notes. Just make sure to collect it before you use the fuse with the shutter door. The first option to get the achievement the old-fashioned way is after opening the only locked door to room 201 in the Care Center intro area. You can't miss the room as in there is a progress relevant item. Theoretically, you can get this achievement in every playable level where you need to play with Grace, have an ink ribbon left in your inventory and found a typewriter. The game offers 3 difficulties at the beginning: Casual, Standard Modern and Standard Classic. Only selecting Standard Classic offers the usage of the ink ribbons. In the other modes you can save without the ribbons, but this obviously won't unlock the achievement then. Inside room 201 you can find a lighter next to the fuse. This lighter can't be missed as it's progress relevant, but after you collected it you can leave the room, turn left and get inside room 202. There are a couple of items you can check for hints, but on the left side of the room you will find a partially opened double door. Behind the door you will find a cardboard box with a note on it. This is your next collectible. As you made it into Roseville Care Center with Leon, you find yourself in the Rehabilitation ward area. As far as I know, also this part of the game is like an introduction area that's only visible during this phase of the game. However, after visiting the doctor's office you will need to fight through a couple of zombies and getting rid of all of them. You will need to take the chainsaw and cut open a locked door at the end. If you follow the way you will pass another door and find your first Mr. Raccoon figure with a note "Hunt us, seek us, find us, break us" next to the fireplace. If you break it, you can also use the headshot. You will get the achievement The Hunt Begins and also start your collectible journey, you little rascal. 25 are waiting for you in the game. At this point of the guide, Leon just rescued Grace and you find yourself inside the Roseville Care Center at the 2nd floor of the central hall. Get downstairs past the east and the west wing doors and get inside the guard office to your right, which is the only open door at the moment. Inside you will find a typewriter and a storage box to the right. On the small table to the left you can find a Care Center pamphlet file. A bit further, next to the door to the medication room, you can also find a whiteboard scroll. Assuming you follow this guide, you should have at least 10 files by now. Still in the guard's office you can find a coin and other useful items, and storing any of them in the storage box will grant you the achievement Out of Sight, Out of Mind. You can get this achievement at any storage box that's accessible for Grace at any time, but here is your first chance. You can't access the storage boxes with Leon though. He uses a different mechanic. The maps in the game are not part of any achievement, but they help a lot if you want to find a specific location. Since the maps are on the way to other collectibles or achievements, I will also include them into this guide. The map for the West Wing you can find, surprise, in the West Wing. After collecting the keycard for the medication room, go through the West Wing door and head towards the dining room. You need to turn left and go through the kitchen if you haven't opened the shortcut on the right side yet. Cross the dining room, get your weapon and leave it through the door on the left side behind the tables and follow the path until you find the stairs to go up. I recommend to grab the coin on your way to get one stage further up, and you should be able to see the map on the wall. After collecting the West Wing map, go through the door on the left side, grab the coin on the piano in the bar and lounge area, pass it to the right through the door and you find yourself in the gallery. But before going into the chairman's office through the door on the right, check the white coat hanging on the wall left of you. Inside you will find a file, a folded note. From the gallery, get inside to the chairman's office, which is unlocked. On the left side you can find a trinket box, and if you open it you will find a red jewel. You need to get inside the parlor room for the first floor later. However, on the black table next to the quartz riddle in the other side of the room you will find a copy of an email to a manager. Now get inside the second part of the room where a zombie is having his lunch. In the paper bin to your right you will find a scrambled note to the chairman. Additionally, you can find a pencil on the table. Take it, get back to the other room and use it with the notebook on the table. Not only will you get a combination for the quartz riddle, you will also get another note for your collection. 3 more done. It's time for the East Wing now. Do you remember the red jewel? You needed to get inside the room where the East Wing keycard is. If you're still at the chairman's office, get out and turn right past the zombie and get through the shortcut. Grab all the coins you have and go through the West Wing door. You will notice that the cook is patrolling now, but you can easily sneak past him to the left and open the parlor room with the red jewel. Just take your time. Grab the coins from the roulette table and the bar and use 3 of them for the locker with the hip pouch. The remaining coins you can also insert according to your likings to get them out of your inventory. Beside of other items lying around, you also want to check the dead body in the left backside of the room. Grab and check his cut arm on the floor and take the keycard with you. Loot what you want and do some inventory management or save the game, but as next you want to go inside the East Wing. After opening the door you will hear and see your next Mr. Raccoon already on the reception table. Break it and you got number 2. After reaching the East Wing, follow the floor until you get to the examination and treatment room. Here you will find a safe and a riddle, but for both you need something you don't have at the moment. Get rid of the zombies, take the hemolytic injector, cross both rooms and follow the hallway until you reach the blood lab. On the table in the middle of the blood lab you will find a blood collector, which you need for crafting. On the other side of the table you will find a document called Blood Compound Synthesis for your file collection. To the right of the PC you can also find a blood specimen sample. After collecting it, you can use it on the PC next to it. After solving the small riddle, you will be rewarded with crafting recipes and on top of it also with the achievement Science. Be aware that for the achievement The Power of Blood you need to collect and use blood combined with material for crafting. There is another achievement about not collecting blood throughout your run, but for this I recommend a second challenge run. We got that later in this guide. This being clarified, check the blood lab for the bucket with blood. They are sprinkled around the maps and also killed zombies can drop some blood leftover sometimes. You can also see them on the map once you found them. Now simply collect some blood from the bucket, gather materials to your liking and craft anything from your recipes. I made ink ribbons, but another hemolytic injector could be also nice at this point. Additionally, you can also use blood bags for refilling the blood collector, but I would recommend to save up or to keep a save game where you have at least 100 to 200 amount of blood in form of blood bags. This will help you later with another achievement and I will cover this later in this guide too. As next step, the achievement Internal Dispute is waiting for us, but we need a special zombie type for that and find him in the waiting room. If you followed the guide, check the hallway between Blood Lab and the treatment room. There's another split where a zombie is playing on the light switch. Take him out and follow the way. If you try to cross the room with the level 2 gate on the left, a couple of zombies will try to get into your way. I recommend to kill all of them either far away or close to the door to the right. Not killing them will lead them to spread around multiple rooms. This is not what you want, believe me. Be aware that where you kill them might trigger another zombie, which we need for the achievement, in a negative way. In my case, I killed them close to the door and then turned right to get inside the waiting room. Inside you can find a cleaning zombie trying to clean the mess, also the mess you just made outside. Another one I call a headache zombie because, well, he suffers from headache and wants his silence. But for now, go through the room and open the shortcut on the other side of the room. I strongly recommend to save the game now if you want to do this achievement. It might take a couple of tries. The goal now is to make one zombie hit another. The headache zombie hates noise and hits around after getting disturbed. The plan is now to bring the headache zombie close to the cleaning zombie so he starts to rage and hits her. Some people use the vases inside the waiting room, but in my case the cleaning zombie often decided to get distracted by the mess I made outside the room and so made me a headache zombie too. Some moments of frustration and a bit of hate later, I finally managed to get both outside. In my case, I needed to get the headache zombie closer to the door, wait for the maid to get outside, and then use an empty bottle to lure the headache zombie to the outside area as well. What a relief that this headache achievement is finally done. In the corner where the headache zombie stood originally, you can also find a cracked open safe with 2 coins and a file about safe replacements. Independent of doing the last achievement like in my guide or not, you should now be in or next to the waiting room and have the shortcut open. But instead of taking the shortcut, get back to the hallway where the zombies walked along the path after you reached that area. Follow where they came from and you will get into another stairway room. On the right side of the table you will find your next Mr. Raccoon file to destroy. There's another coin on the table, but we want to go upstairs now. You will need to get rid of some zombies, but you will also find the East Wing map hanging on the wall. After collecting the East Wing map, you can see a blue wristband on the right side. But before going there, get into the lead researcher's office room to the left. Beside of some goodies like a lockpick, you can also find a saving point here. Inside you will also find another door into another room. This is where we want to go. On the black cupboard ahead you can find a picture with some hints for the quartz riddle, and beside of that, collecting it will also count as file. If you now turn around past the table and check the small cupboard on the left side of the room, you will find the lead researcher's message. If you then turn your attention to the table, you will find an additional photo laying here. It is a photo with a puzzle box in the background and part of the solution for the quartz riddle, but it also counts as file for your achievement. Last but not least, in the same room you will find an additional framed picture on the table. If you follow this guide until here, checking this one will be your 20th file. For the next achievement you need a lockpick. Luckily we just found one in the last part of the achievement guide. But first you should get back to the blue wristband outside. Be aware that once you get close to it you will get a visit from Chunk. You can still take the wristband and then retreat for the moment. Get back to the waiting room and check the level 1 protected closet to the left. You can find Requiem ammo and other items. Left of the shortcut of the East Wing lobby you can open a locked drawer with the lockpick. Doing so gives you rare metal and will grant you the achievement like mother like daughter. Every lockpick is only usable once and you can get the achievement by opening any drawer. Now it's time for cleaning up. Grab and craft a hemolytic injector and go to the West Wing where the cook is patrolling. Sneak behind him and use the injector and he will instantly die. You will be rewarded with the Order Up achievement, and since you killed him with the injector you will also get the achievement Fatal Dose. You can use the injector also for other zombies, but for this dude it was worth to use it. Last but not least, you can also get the pantry key to open the door in the kitchen. Inside you will find nothing achievement relevant but another useful Requiem shot. On your way to get there you should also get rid of the zombie next to the level 1 gate, which you can also open now. We will go there later though. Even though I did this later in the game, I would recommend to get rid of Chunk at this point. He needs a combination of 3 heavy hits. In my case I used one of the injectors and 2 Requiem shots in the head, which is what you should have left from the closet and pantry or could craft. I did not try other combinations, but they should also work. When getting back into the waiting room, Chunk will start patrolling in the area between the stairs and the blocked level 2 isolation ward gate. Get out and check him his first dose when he walks by and retreat into the waiting room again. He will try to get inside, but while he tries to, he also sticks his head through the door. This is the moment where you can shoot him with the Requiem 2 more times easily. Afterwards he will implode, drop a nice charm, and you will finally get the achievement Race and Goliath. Beside of this you can walk around easily now. Now that Chunk is gone, get upstairs again, turn right towards the corpse where you found the blue wristband. Turn right again and you will eventually not only find some blood to collect, but also the file with the examination room safe code in it. Deadly Duet is connected with killing the 2 singing zombies. You met the first one in the bar area already, but if you followed my guide you did not kill her yet. We will now get inside the conference room next to the blue wristband location. You should have some ammo with you now, as a couple of zombies will be in this room. If the singing lady detects you, she will start screaming and this will wake up a couple of zombies. Kill them, finally also get rid of the singing lady and collect the coin she drops. If you killed the other single lady before already, you will get the achievement Deadly Duet now instead of later. Inside of the room where the singing lady was, you will find a bottle with corrosives for the quartz riddle. Take it and also check the file called Patient Medical Records on the table. With the corrosive in your pockets, it's time to get back to the lab researcher's office close by. This time you enter the room with the quartz puzzle, you will trigger a cutscene. Afterwards, get inside the room again and use the corrosive on the padlock of the quartz riddle. Now it is time to solve the riddle. The solution is visible through the past, if you know what I mean. But I'm sure you can manage this by your own. Inside you will find one more quartz and a leather-bound notebook. Inside this notebook you can read Spencer's research notes and also check the information file about unlocking the organ transport box. 2 more files crossed from the list, only theoretically missable files. Even though I did it different in my playthrough, I would recommend to get back to the storage box, grab all coins and use them in the parlor room. Afterwards we pass the level 1 door next to the kitchen. In my guide we killed the zombie and opened the door already. If you follow the way you will see a construction note hanging on the wall, which is your next file, and the safe room with the storage box left of it called Custodian's Office. Even though it has nothing to do with any achievement, I would recommend to get inside the garage next. You will find the organ transport box, which you can open with the hints of the files you found in the leather-bound notebook. After opening the organ box, you can take out the organs and store it in the item box. You will need it later for progressing the story. If you want to combine the next file with story progress, I recommend to get the wrench from the custodian's office and also any blood sample with you, and then go upstairs into the office room. You can hear already a couple of zombies in the records room to your right, but we will take care about them in a second. Before, you can take the bar and lounge safe code from the table directly in front of you. Also, you can find more lockpicks on the table next to it. If you walk around the tables, you will also find another file with the background check of Grace. As your next step, go inside the records room I mentioned before and kill the zombies inside. Beside of a couple of items, you can also find a disposal team report in a box on the floor in the middle of the room. If you wonder about the Mr. Raccoon figure sound close to the records room, you hear right. But this one you can't get with Grace. You will need to get back with Leon as he is able to break the door of the cabinet. Leave the records room and turn right towards the connected kitchenette. Beside of some herbs, you will also find another Mr. Raccoon figure on the kitchen furniture. Last but not least, also use the PC in the room to analyze blood samples for more crafting recipes. To finish up this area, just follow the path along the kitchenette. At the end, you can unlock the shortcut door leading you back again to the bar and lounge area. Since we're close to the bar and lounge, I would also recommend to kill the singer zombie patrolling around here. Just like with the other singing lady, she will also wake up a couple of zombies. Take care of them and you can freely walk inside this room. As a result, you will get the achievement Deadly Duet, if you also killed the other singing lady already. This is the last achievement in regard to killing specific zombies in this area, at least if you follow this guide. Since the room is free now, you can also make use of the safe code you found earlier and open the safe next to the bar. You will need to do this if you seek the achievement No Safe is Safe. Inside you will find 3 coins. You can also use the lockpick from the office to get more rare metals from the drawer next to the chairman's office. Afterwards, I would recommend to get also downstairs through the bar and lounge stairs again. Inside the level 1 locked door in the filing room, you will find another hip pouch for extending your inventory space. Last but not least, I would also recommend to get inside the cold storage if you took the wrench with you. Open a door and use the wrench afterwards. Inside you will find no achievement relevant collectible, but you will find the next organ you need for the story. It's time now to do some inventory management and save the game. Starting from the main hall, you need to go to the examination room again. For story progress, you should take the organs with you. Depending on how you played before, there could be a surgery zombie now waiting there. Either way, open up the safe with the file you found earlier, take out the next 3 coins. If you took the artificial organs with you, put them inside the body on the table and kill him for the wristband of the level 2 access. I'm not sure what is the trigger to make zombies turn into blister heads, but even before putting the organs in, they got surprised by the first blister head. You can kill them easiest if you hit them with a Requiem headshot or an injector. In this case, you can also avoid him if you got the wristband already. For Victor's journal entry, you need to get into the blood lab again and open the level 1 door. As there is a blister head in the treatment room, you either kill him, sneak past him, or walk around using the waiting room. Inside the level 1 storage room, you can find a couple of useful materials, including another blood specimen. Nice, as you can analyze it at the PC in the blood lab next to you. Beside of this, you will find Victor's journal entry on the table right of the blood specimen. At this point, you are ready to open the level 2 gate. If you got rid of junk and also some of the blister heads already, as well as the zombies walking around in that area, you should have no problem at all. If not done already, I'd recommend to clean this area now. The level 2 gate is in the hallway between the blood lab and the waiting room. After going in, you will see a couple of closed cells and a path towards the security manager's office. Before opening the door to the office, you will find a nurse log on the table and also a file about double mutations on a noteboard left of the log. Both count as file for your achievement. Head inside the office of the security manager. You can find a code for the quartz riddle on the table. Once you interacted with the riddle apparatus, you will then trigger a cutscene and also collect the needed level 3 wristband. After starting the last quartz riddle, you need to get back to Emily. But before doing so, I also recommend to collect all missing items and to save in the main hall. You need an empty blood collector and 100 to 200 microsamples of blood in form of blood bags to be the most efficient now. You probably got the achievement Blood More Blood already, which you get if you craft items worth 300 microsamples of blood. If not, do some crafting now and you can reload if you don't want to craft anything at this point. There's also another achievement called Bloodlust. For this you need to collect 5000 microsamples of blood. After my first playthrough, I reached around 3100 microsamples and wanted to do this a bit faster. Now we need the blood bags I was talking about before. Take the blood collector, use the blood bags to refill and reload the game. Now do this again and again until you reach the achievement. If you're on a run without collecting blood, you can reload afterwards and continue without issues. If you did the blood achievements like I explained before, you should have saved in the main hall in the meantime and can proceed from here. Get inside the medication room now and open the left cell first. On the left side of the empty bed you can find another Mr. Raccoon figure. This is the last figure Grace can collect in the upper care center area. After opening Emily's cell, you will watch a cutscene and leave the cells. With holding her, you can't really shoot or interact with anything, which means you should drop her on the couch in the safe room if there's anything else you want to do. Now it's time where you should check if there's anything you missed. Be aware that all locked doors you need a wristband for, Leon later will not be able to open. Also, he has no access to the item storage box, so I would recommend to collect everything you want or need with Grace for now, including getting all the specimens analyzed and all coin lockers opened in the parlor room. Afterwards, you should clean up the path to the last riddle so you can walk there without struggling. Then refill ammo, grab Emily and bring her to the security manager's office with the quartz riddle. This will trigger a cutscene. I'm not sure if you need to get rid of all zombies next or if you simply need to wait until a timer is done, but either way defend yourself until Emily replies to you she's done and get back to her. As a result, she will be taken hostage and you need to jump down that hole. If you do so, you will get the achievement Descent into Darkness, which is story related and not missable. And with this, you proceed into the basement. After Grace is before Leon, which means that after jumping into the hole towards the basement area with Grace, you will continue with Leon. You'll find yourself in the medical supply room in the attic in the 3rd floor. Simply follow the way and grab items of your choice until you reach a blocked passage. If you turn left now instead of moving the furniture away, you will find a small table with a file called Satiety Suppression Medical Records on it. After moving the furniture away, you will reach the attic and can't go back. After finding the shotgun and getting rid of another chunk brother, you can move around the area and collect a couple of materials. There are some parts of the room that you can only reach if you made chunk break or not break certain parts of the attic, but nothing critical. After you're done, just open the door towards the attic storage and follow the way. At the end of the corridor you will find a blocked cupboard. You might have noticed some of them with Grace already sprinkled around the care center. but this time you can open them with Leon's hatchet. Inside the cupboard you will find a compensator and a basement code. You can use the compensator and modify your weapon with it, and if you do so you will get the achievement tailor-made. You can also get this achievement in other areas where you can access the upgrade menu or weapon parts. If you now continue your path, you eventually will get to the ladder leading down into the chairman's office. You will also find that Leon is way better defending himself against blisterheads. As you probably found out already, you can see a couple of symbols on the map now that look like a lightning bolt. These parts represent closets like the one you just opened in the attic. The first one in reach you can find after leaving the chairman's office and turn left. After opening it, you will find ammo and a dishwasher's note about the pantry key and who got it. As you find this here and also could have killed the cook with Leon, I decided to categorize the Order Up achievement not as easy missable. You might remember the record room where I mentioned a closet with a Mr. Raccoon figure inside. It drove me crazy when I was walking around with Grace, but now here's the chance to get this one. Walk through the shortcut in the records room and open the closet with your hatch. Once open you can break it as usual. You might wonder if there are more achievement relevant parts inside the remaining closet, and the answer is no. But the one in the pantry gives you the connoisseur charm, which will increase the firepower of any gun. The one in the fighting room offers a bit of ammo and a med injector. Either way, if you're ready, take the stairs and get up to the 3rd floor using the stairway next to the bar and lounge area. Fight yourself through the area and get into the elevator. Back to Grace in the basement, you will automatically get 2 files. You can't miss them, but they are called Special Directive for Raccoon City and Report on Raccoon City Syndrome if you want to check them. If you simply follow the way, you will also find a headless body with a ladder next to him on the right side and close to the starting point. Follow the corridor and pass the generator until you reach the elevator. If you turn right, past the locked cells and another generator, and you eventually will find the door on the right side which leads you to the security room, which is also your safe spot. On the table with the orange safety hat, you then can find a file called Operation to Eliminate the Girl. Starting from the safe room, turn right and walk inside the furnace room. Turn right again and follow the path until you find the holding cell area. If you turn right and check the cell area, you will find a cell with Emily in it. At the end of the cell section, you will find a non-functional lever, a joint plug partially powering a generator, and also a file called Unlocking the Cells. After checking the file, you need to take the joint plug. Your goal now is to find all 3 joint plugs so you can power the elevator from here to escape. After taking out the joint plug, the girl is starting to hunt you. The only way to get rid of her is to shoot her with the Requiem so she goes away for some time, to hide from her, to get into the safe room, or to use the light mechanics by using the joint plugs in certain rooms. Simply run out now and get into the safe room, or hide and wait until she vanishes into the darkness. Starting from the security room, you should create some space in your inventory at this point. We'll do a route that includes story progress, looting materials, and also another Mr. Raccoon figure. Taking the joint plug and turn left after getting out. Pass the bunkroom for now and turn left of the elevator again. If you follow the path, you will reach the power generator with the locked door on the left side. Plug the joint plug here. Now go inside, move the wooden box next to the fence away and crouch through the gap. Take the lockpick in front of you and then turn right and go to the dead body at the end of the room. Take also the square socket wrench with you. You will need it for some story progress. Now get back to the fence, but go around the blockage on your right side. You will trigger the girl searching for lunch. Afterwards, she will move towards the dead body, which is your chance to get back to the fence. But don't forget to pick up the lockpicks if you did not do already. Now get out through the fence and take the joint plug. Walk to the bunkroom and put the joint plug there. You're safe here, but the doors will open and inside you will find 2 zombies. Also, you can use the lockpick to open the locker for rare metal. Find a recipe for a Molotov cocktail on the table in the middle, some materials in general, and also another Mr. Raccoon figure on the TV. If you're done, take the joint plug with you again and get into the safe room. First, some route preparation for later. Make sure to have the square wrench and the joint plug with you. Go through the furnace room and turn left inside the collection pool. Use the wrench for the generator to open the plug slots and consider going back to drop the wrench into the storage box. Last but not least, also put the joint plug into the generator in the furnace room. The wrench can also be used for the workshop area, but we don't need that. Go through the open furnace door until you get close to the inspection area with the forklift. Now get inside the small cabin and take your 40th file called Security Guards Report. You will also find a safe you can open with a file you collected with Leon before. Take everything of interest and grab the joint plug from the generator next to the forklift outside. Now turn around and get inside the vents. Grab the lockpicks and follow the vent into the workshop area. You will trigger a small event. You should be in the workshop area now, and if you want to make this a safe spot for the moment, you can climb outside and put the joint plug into the generator, but this is not needed. On the table inside you can find a Mr. Raccoon figure to destroy and also a file called Technician's Note. At this point of the game you need to make a decision. If you only want to know about the Bring Out the Big Guns achievement, you can simply use the Requiem to shoot at the girl and stun her anywhere in the basement level. I'm not sure if hitting her in the water treatment level later will also count, so better be safe than sorry. Beside of that, there's nothing else to do for you and you can finish the rest of the basement level without anything else to watch out for. But on the other side there's also something else you can do here, and this requires some more explanation. This might be only possible if you finish the game already at least once. The other option is to get the achievement Bring Out the Big Guns, collect the basement map, another hip pouch, and additionally also prepare to get the final puzzle solved, and all that without searching for the girl in particular. Yes, you heard right, I'm talking about preparation, as the final puzzle can only be done with 2 runs minimum. Without data mining and reading guides like this, it probably would take even longer, as the information is spread in a way to not know what to do when you actually need to do it. Logically, the clues that connect everything are not yet fully discovered, but the solution is. Sounds strange, but yeah, it is how it is, and I try to speed up things a little bit from here on now. Assuming you just follow the guide, you should have at least one joint plug with you already, and also need the second one that's in the furnace room at the moment. Then get inside the collection pool and put both plugs into the generator, follow the path through the open door leading towards the processing area, crawl through the vent and climb up the ladder on the other side. In front of you is the forklift and right of it is the key. With the keys you can move the forklift, and with this open a path inside to collect the hip pouch and the map. Now we need to leave the processing area again without taking the joint plug. Back in the collection pool you need to collect the 2 joint plugs again and put one of them into the furnace room to open the door. There might be a couple of zombies now, so kill them and follow then the path towards the inspection area. Surely the lights break, and as a result the girl is patrolling in the fenced area around the inspection room now. Sneak around the girl into the vent and get out to put in the joint plug once she moves to the left. Or shoot at her for the achievement Bring Out the Big Guns and then put in the joint plug. Inside you see a moving conveyor with hanging zombies. There are a couple of gaps where you need to squeeze in to walk with the conveyor. While doing so they may grab you, but they won't hurt you. There is a spot where you can get out, kill the zombie that drops off and move the trolley out of the way. Now get outside again, turn the lever for the conveyor direction and then get back through the shortcut that just opened. Now follow the path again, kill the next dropping zombie and move along with the conveyor until you reach the typewriter. Save the game before using the valve. Later in the game you will collect a file called Subject 170 Record. In there is written that 524.3 liters of blood was collected from 115 infected and given to Meryl. Meryl is the girl that is hunting you. You might have also observed that she is eating the infected bodies in the basement, so that fits what is written in here. You also saw a puppet next to the second but empty cell of Emily. Since the blood needs to come from somewhere, the grinder is getting into the equation now. You can see covered and uncovered infected on the conveyor. I'm not sure if only the uncovered ones are counting or not, but at least I can confirm that letting 150 plus 30 bodies drop into the tank was not working for me. Online it's recommended to wait simply 20 minutes and let the bodies drop. This worked for me, so I can confirm at least that way. Time to find out if it worked or not. Turn the valve and do not kill any of the zombies. Instead, hit their knees to stun them and let the shredder do the work. After a certain amount of time, the shredder will stop. All zombies that woke up need to be shredded. If some are left over, you need to repeat the complete section. I'm sorry to say that. Time to climb up the ladder and take the joint plug on the other side. Get back where you saved and crawl through the vent. Now it's time to find out if you did good with shredding or not. After sliding through blood, you end up in a tank. If you get out left, there is a lever you can use. As a result, the blood is draining, and after it is gone, there will be an information message written on the screen. If your try was successful, there should be written a ton of blood flowed out. If there's written a lot of blood flowed out, it did not work for you. But if you saved the game, you can simply try again. I can't believe I played the game a third try, as I only had a save game after using the vent and then still needed 3 tries, only because I simply did not want to wait the 20 minutes and try counting. If you did not hit the girl yet, don't worry. You need to get back to the joint plug from the inspection area, and once you leave with the plug, she's automatically dropping in front of the vent. You can hit her and leave from where you came from. Take the joint plug and get towards the cells. The zombie hitting the door will get out now. Kill him, take the loot, drop the plugs, and then immediately walk out towards the elevator. If you instantly start walking without waiting time, you won't get caught by any zombie and make it out. After leaving the basement with the elevator, you're able to collect the hand of the girl. Your instinct probably says you should try to analyze it, and so did mine. I dropped the girl on the couch, went to the next laser microscope in the blood lab, and then analyzed the hand. As a result, we got a code: GGC, AAG, AUA, ACG, UGU, and CAU. If we break this down, we have 4 letters: G, C, A, and U in 6 blocks. In my first playthrough, I also analyzed the hand, but I did not know where to search for the code. But after I finished the game, I also collected all missing files, and one in particular caught my attention. The file Grace Ashcroft Blood Analysis Report contains a line that says C equal 4.2 LY. I also noticed at some point that on the microscope is written another code. This time it's G equals 150 million. But I'm honest, I remember seeing this, but at this point I did not know about the puzzle, and so I forgot also about the number. Without help, I would have missed that. We get later to the point what to do with these numbers. But before leaving the care center, there's another part we need to do. I noticed already early in the game that there are a couple of interactions that seem to have no effect at all. The lights triggered the zombie with the light sensitivity, blood triggered the cleaning lady, and the noise the headache zombie. But the toilet, for example, could be flushed but had no effect at all. Now thinking back, this was suspicious already, as for example the water tap was not usable. If you now check the files again, you will find a picture on page 4 on the very first file, the investigation report, that is showing a zombie next to a toilet with the number 8 smeared on the wall. And this leads us to the next part: flushing any of the toilets in the care center exactly 8 times. And yes, I know exactly what you think. How in the hell would a random picture from a random dude on a random toilet lead to flushing the toilets in the care center exactly 8 times? But not any time, exactly in this moment now. If you found out, please let me know, because for now this is as random as waiting for 20 minutes for bodies falling into the shredder while neither the shredder was moving, nor it made any visual difference if there were 3 or 300 bodies falling inside. The event afterwards also always was working the same, and always had the same amount of zombies inside. No indicator for anything except of the random message at the end. Maybe we're missing some hidden information, but for now I'm missing the logic behind this puzzle. If you still need or want to do something, you can put Emily on the couch. Otherwise, it's time to leave this place. If not done yet, put all the quartz stones into the sockets in front of the door. You can also do this while holding Emily. If you leave outside, you will reach the courtyard and can't go back. With this, you will also get the non-missable story achievement, It's Been a Long Night. The courtyard has only 2 items laying around, but if you leave it to the left, you will reach a helipad and also trigger a cutscene causing Grace to drop Emily again. As next, we want to get inside the VIP suite, as there is a visitor record. In the room next to you is a storage box, and next to this room you will get inside the VIP suite. On the table behind the podium on the backside of the VIP room you will find a file called Note regarding research results. After activating the podium you just passed, it will open up and showing a missing double helix element. But on the left side of the podium there is an hourglass. Take it, unscrew it, and then turn it over so the sand is falling into the second chamber. As a result, you will find another number for your code collection, U equals 380,000. Only one more missing. While this is not helping us with the room puzzle, you should check the wine bottle at the bar inside this room. After using the mechanisms, you will get the helix and can drop it inside the podium. This will cause the room to turn into a big elevator turning down. Once you made it down with the elevator, you can go through a door inside the reception of the research facility. This is a safe spot and you can not only save the game but also use the storage board. On the table left of it, you will find another file called Spencer's Research 2. From the reception, walk downstairs into the collection and testing area. You can basically ignore this room except of the part next to the exit on the other side. On the wall, you can find a map for this area. On a patient trolley, right of the blocked emergency exit door, you will also find another file called Subject 170 Record. You might remember this file as I mentioned it as part of the solution leading to the final puzzle. After leaving the collection and testing area upstairs, you end up in the development room. One room further, on a table on the left side of the private lab, you will find Grace Ashcroft's blood analysis report. This file connects also to the final riddle. I explained it earlier a little bit in this guide. While finding the helicopter keys in the connected room with all the monitors, you can also find another Mr. Raccoon figure on the table to the right. Last but not least, you can also open the doors on the PC, which will trigger a cutscene. We are still not finished yet, but this is the moment when we reap the rewards for our previous work in regard to the final puzzle. I will quickly sum up what needed to be done prior to this point. Collecting a ton of blood with the grinder, collecting and analyzing the hand of the girl, and flushing the toilets. While everything we did for the puzzle is also part of the solution, only the mentioned parts are needed to trigger the doll to appear. On our way back to the helicopter, we need to go through the testing area and the exit. We will reach a spot where the blood container explodes and a lot of blister heads will appear. You don't need to kill any of them, but when you reach the stairs, you can see and collect a doll laying in the blood next to the stairs. This is the reward we want to take with us. Afterwards, you can leave the building. If there is no doll, you miss to do something. It is the doll we have seen in the cells before and has the information "will be together forever and ever" on it. This suspects to be a hint for taking the doll into a new playthrough, isn't it? Yes, you need to finish the playthrough now. After the helicopter crash, it's time again for Leon. This time you find yourself on the rooftop area finding a sniper. Your goal is to save Grace from here. Just follow the way until you reach the broken window and the weapons box in front of it. Take the sniper, go through the house until you reach some kind of balcony. Now take your sniper and check the left side of the courtyard. You can see pillars with lights on it, and on one of them is a Mr. Raccoon figure you need to shoot at. After beating the boss in the chapel with Leon, you will play Grace again. You find yourself in the water treatment plant. If you follow the path, you will end up in the second floor, dropping Emily in the storage bay. In the same room, you'll also find a typewriter, a storage box, and on the table also a file called Roof Hatch Manual. As next, you need to open the hatch, and with this also to do the last fight against the girl. While she's hunting you, you need to power the generators and defend yourself. After doing so, you can go back upstairs to open the hatch and to end this drama once and for all. After following the cutscene, you will get the achievement A Harsh Reality. After the next cutscene and the driving session with a new looking Porsche, you will finally end up in the eastern part of Raccoon City. Without doing anything, you will have the report on the Raccoon City incident file collected. You can't miss this one. But after following the road, you can also find the Raccoon City incident newspaper file on the ground. If you follow the streets, you eventually will get to a point where you'll find a way into a train station. This door is blocked for now, but if you follow the streets, you can enter the cafe Oasis on the left side of it. On a cupboard inside, you can find another Mr. Raccoon figure to break. Beside of the achievement relevant files, you can also find files that are not connected to the achievement case closed. In total, there are 5 letters scattered across Raccoon City, and they are connected to the digital deluxe edition of Resident Evil Requiem. The first of them you can find on the couch inside the Applegate hotel area, and it's called From Meryl to Mommy. For 550, you need to defeat the giant spider and go through the underground area until you reach daylight again. Your new goal is to find detonator parts starting in the BSAA camp left of the block door. Power the generator behind the tent and check the file orders for the engineer corps inside the tent also. Now just follow the storyline, get inside the garage door, clean the warehouse and eventually get to the Cedarbrook apartment key. Follow the way out and climb up the ladder until you reach the generator. Follow the way, get through the door and climb up the next ladder again. You will find a yellow box with your first detonator part inside. But before using the elevator to get down again, take your sniper and check the side where the elevator is. On a car wreck on the bridge you can find another Mr. Raccoon figure. In my case, I missed this one in my first playthrough. As soon as Leon has access to the supply box and a connected tracker, he is collecting points for killing zombies. These points can be used for investing into gear and also some ammo. It basically works like the merchant of Resident Evil Village. If you purchase your very first item from the box, this will also grant you the achievement Retail Therapy. Starting from the BSAA camp, use the Cedarbrook apartment key to get through the gate left of the elevator. You will reach some stairs leading down into the underground. There is a zombie walking around that drops a tracker with points, and left of him you can enter a door. On the boxes to the right you can find another Mr. Raccoon figure. If you get out again and follow the hallway, you will get into a room with a locked shutter gate and a zombie in front of it. On the wall to the right you can also find a battery box. Check the file called battery storage location on it. There are no achievement relevant things anymore in this area. Simply clean the left and the right areas, collect the needed batteries, plug them in and open the shutter gate to get out. After getting out of the garage, turn left and check the bodies lying on the ground. The cutscene will be triggered and you get the BSAA container key. Inside the container right next to the bodies you can find a box with an inventory list attached. Now turn around and check the driver's seat of the wrecked bus close by. You will find another Mr. Raccoon figure. Last but not least, go a bit further to check the crane next to the generator. This opens up a shortcut to the camp. The achievement Master Craftsman does not really fit into this guide sequence as it depends on material and your playstyle. In this case, we need to simply craft every possible item with Leon. You can check the challenge info how many you miss, but not which ones. In Raccoon City you should find enough material for everything, that's why I put this here. So let's check your options. We have mixed herbs out of 2 green herbs. We have mixed herb out of 3 green herbs and mixed herbs out of 1 green and 1 mixed herb. We have handgun ammo where we need scrap and gunpowder small, and shotgun shells where we need scrap and gunpowder large. We have the rifle ammo where we need 2 scrap and 1 gunpowder large, and the machine gun ammo where we need 2 scrap and 1 gunpowder small. We have also a hand grenade where we need scrap and 2 gunpowder small, and a stacked hand grenade where we need 2 hand grenades. I personally missed one of the herbs, the stacked hand grenades, and something else I forgot. Especially the 3 herbs combined into a full dose of mixed herbs has a huge potential for being forgotten, I guess. What did you miss? Tell me in the comments. Now it's time to check the gas station. A bit right of the wrecked bus with the last Mr. Raccoon there is a ladder you need to shoot on. You need to use this ladder to get inside. Jump down and kill the zombies around there, then get inside the station and you will find a Mr. Raccoon figure directly in front of you in the shelves. If you walk to the backside area and turn right, there's a zombie on the floor, but there's also another 1998 ladder from Meryl to Mommy. Afterwards, take the gas can, clean up the area from the zombies, collect some gas and get back out. Now we can use this for some generators on our way. Now let's get inside the Cedarbrook apartment. You need the crank handle for your next raccoon, which you find after getting into the 2nd floor, looping around the building, jumping down again and grabbing it from the mechanism on the wall after fighting. Now get upstairs again and use the crank handle on the locked door and climb up the ladder. But before getting on the roof, get inside the building to your right and check the stairway. Beside of the box hanging from the middle of the room, there's also another Mr. Raccoon in the corner next to the open fridge. Now get all the way up to the rooftop of the Cedarbrook apartment. You will find out that there are zombies shooting with mortars. Just fight your way through where the mortar is that shoots you first and you will find the next detonator and a file called Engineer Corpse Node. You can use the mortar to kill zombies that appear once you try to get out again. Independent from what character you're playing, killing enemies account for both characters together. Once you reach 300 at any place, you will get the achievement Seasoned Pro. In my case, I got it somewhere in Raccoon City. At this point we collected the crank handle, the fuel and the BSAA keys, which will enable us to also collect another achievement, opening all BSAA containers in Raccoon City. The first one in reach is directly in the BSAA camp, and inside you will find a motorcycle and also the needed repair kit for the detonators for the story. The second one is east of the gas station and you could simply walk there, but we will take a different route for collecting some extra stuff. Do you remember the gate in the garage that needed a crank handle? This is where you want to go now. After going inside the garage, turn left and follow the way until you reach the door where you need to use the crank handle. Open it, climb up the ladder, and afterwards you will get out on the opposite side of the gas station and can open a shortcut from here. Additionally, there are also some items to loot. Use the shortcut and turn right, walk towards the containers, circle around the red one, climb up the small ladder and jump down where you reach the BSAA container and open it. Inside you will find some zombies to kill and also a marksman A1. For the next little rascals you need to go underground again. Starting from the BSAA camp, turn right and cross the shortcut bridge and fuel up the generator so you can open the door. Climb up your way through the ladders and head towards the truck. You can find some loot around that area, including items hanging in the air. Clean up the zombies over there and open the shortcut to the other side first, then turn around and climb down the ladder into the Canals. Turn right first, follow the way until you reach a loot box with a tracking module inside. Also you can see another Mr. Raccoon figure on the other side of the broken Canals. It might be possible you can see it also from above, but I found it that way. Now go back through the canals and follow the path on the other side. You will reach a door and inside another ladder leading further down. Now you should be close to the Ridgewood train station. If you follow the west side of the area, you eventually will reach a train where you can climb in. You will see some spiders there and also another Mr. Raccoon figure for your collection. We're going full circle now. Still in the Ridgewood station area, you can get out of the train where we just found a Mr. Raccoon figure. You're on the other side of the area where you originally dropped in after you were defeating the giant spider. There's a loot crate down here, but you can also get upstairs again. After killing the zombie, turn right and open the shortcut. Then turn around and walk along the left side. Some zombies and another door later and you will get out of the train station where we originally started our Raccoon City journey. Now go back towards the Applegate Hotel and open the last BSAA container right of it. This time some zombies will spawn, but beside of the achievement Great Expectation, you will also get a BSAA charm and a tracking module from inside. At this stage there should be only one area left. You might remember one more generator where we needed to fuel at the very beginning. Starting from the BSAA camp, use the elevator to get up first. Now turn right and climb down the ladder and get out of the building. Here you can use the fuel a very last time. Beside of some loot there's also a zipline you need to use to get on the other side, the Willis tower. Once back on the ground, search for some stairs. There's a room on the right side once you made it up. Inside you will directly notice the last Mr. Raccoon figure in the eastern part of Raccoon City. After the last Mr. Raccoon figure, you just need to follow the story. Various zombies of all kinds later and you will reach handles to lower two sides of a platform. Once done, you can use it to get to the ground again. After reaching the ground, you need to get straight forward, finally doing a final Leon jump, reaching a blocked gate at the end. Once you open the gate and get outside, you will get the Going Down achievement. After placing the bomb, you will get on a ride with the motorcycle you found before. This is by far the weakest part of the game, but there is still an achievement to get. On our road trip, you will be attacked by Victor, and if you interrupt him with your SMG, you will get the achievement Road Trip. After surviving the motorcycle event, you probably will feel some nostalgia as the next part of the game covers the R.P.D, where more or less everything began for Leon. But here you can miss already something for a collection. Even though it was in front of me, I did not see the Mr. Raccoon figure. So before moving towards the R.P.D, check the western part of the map. You will see a broken tank truck, and if you turn right next to all of the other wreckage, you can see a little Rascal. It's number 20 already. If you simply follow the way towards the big building, you will eventually make it to a locked gate. But this gate is not an ordinary gate, it's the gate to the R.P.D. and for probably the first time in gaming history, it's not blocked and you can simply unlock the door already from the outside. If you pass the entrance area, you then can get inside the R.P.D. itself, opening the door, and when doing so, you will get the achievement The Hero Returns. Plenty of memories from the Resident Evil 2 remake, which is until this day still the best Resident Evil for me personally. What is yours? Tell me in the comments. However, check the stacked boxes next to the stairs leading you to the R.P.D. perimeter report. Your only entrance into other rooms is at the beginning into the West office. In here you will find the nameplate of Marvin Brenner and below also the file called Top Secret Operation. This is number 55. The operations room is directly in front of your left if you leave the West office through the door on the west side. At the flipboard you can find a file called Records of Event. Now turn left and look outside. Between the rubble you can find another Mr. Raccoon figure. Also, if you hear some bouncing sound and turn around looking outside, you will see Tofu jumping around. It's in the same direction where the Mr. Raccoon figure could be found. Now turn back and go along the corridor next to the West office. Right before you want to turn left, a zombie appears. Take him down and turn left towards the reception. You will find a locked shutter and a ladder you can shoot down. After climbing up, you can enter the library to your right. On the back side of the room, you will find not only the mechanic check you used in Resident Evil 2, additionally you can also find another Mr. Raccoon figure hidden between the books in the middle of the room. With the card check you can open both shutter doors, the one in the reception and the one in the east wing. But before going into the east wing, let us go up the ladder in the reception room again and follow the door to the front. If you follow the way you will end up next to a door leading into the STARS office. On the right side there is a locker with a photo in it. It's leading you to a small riddle with a hint. A second hint can be found in the jacket hanging on the wall. Both are leading you to the same place. Both of them are counting as files, but they will also lead you to some items. We will go there once we are done with this room. If you go left around the table where the jacket is hanging, you will find another file called Barry's to-do list. It's mentioned on there to get back a book, and the last person having it was the captain. Behind the table in the separated area there's also a code lock suitcase. This is the reward for one of the riddles. Time to check the captain's room inside the office. If you open a drawer it might look like there's nothing. But after a few seconds of waiting the library card is dropping. It tells you that the book was returned to the library. Since the library is on the same floor, we first check the library. If you go upstairs and cross the bridge, you will find a book on the right side inside the shelf. Inside you can find a photo of Rebecca, which is your next file. But on the backside you can also find the text Rising Rookie Rebecca. With this you can open the suitcase from before and it gives you the Power Shades charm. Now let's check the photos again. Looks like a TV, right? On there you will find some keys to open the locker in the West office, and as a reward you will get the Stars Emblem charm. After this it's time to check the East wing. After checking the East wing in the R.P.D. with Leon, you will play as Chloe in a memory segment. Since this part is pretty boring, we speed up things here. After checking the next room, hiding under the bed and going back there, you eventually make it downstairs hiding under the table. After a long sequence you can crawl out. It doesn't matter if the puppets are still there. Go through the door until you see the two puppets and wait until they turn around. Go back outside and maybe hide under the table. Then go back in again and you should hear a bumping sound. Now you can go in again through the door and use the lamp on the right side. Climb up the drawer, take the key and grab it again after losing it. Now walk towards the hatch and instead of giving in your natural instinct of hiding, open the hatch as soon as it's possible. But watch out, as you can get caught here if you're positioned wrong. In 4 or 5 tries it worked fine for me though. Follow the way until you reach the chapel and then go straight ahead. Wait for the door to open and immediately activate the lever on the left. Get out again inside the open door and check the coffin on the floor. Inside you will find your next file, the toe tag. In my case, I missed this part. If you followed the scene in the crypt and climbed up the ladder, you end up in the storage closet. Follow the way until you reach the research lab. After entering, you will directly find a file called Series 60 results on the desk. Check it and walk around the table afterwards, and on another table you will find another file called New Researcher's Notebook. Leave this and reach the other meeting room. In there you can check the projector remote and trigger another cutscene. After the orphanage you get back to Leon. You see an old friend of yours, or let's say a new version of it. No hat, no Mr. X, I guess. However, instead of shooting at him, simply walk around and make it out of the east wing. After you got out, there will be a cutscene and you should check the bench on your left side. There's the 65th file called Guide Pamphlet. You cannot reach this bench before this scene. Now it's time to leave the R.P.D. Your next step is to go through the Gunshop Kendo, leaving it on the backside. Follow the way straight through the storage area and you will find a pump-action shotgun left behind the open door. Then get out of the storage room until you reach the BSAA container, where you have a supply box, a typewriter and plenty of ammo. But before going further, turn right and check the wrecked car. You will find the third letter from Meryl to Mommy, talking about the garage. Now it's time to check the mentioned garage. As the mechanics do not allow to read the letters out of the sequence, going there before would not have made sense for the guide. Go back through the gun shop, but instead of going into the R.P.D, head right towards the garage. By walking down the ramp you can find letter number 4 on the left side of the wrecked car, talking about going back to the gun shop. Additionally, also check the garage inside. After fighting a few zombies you can find a scope for the sniper rifle inside the container. After finding all 4 previous letters, you need to get back to the gun shop. In the area behind the shop, through the fenced door on the right, you can now find some red shoes on the side. Check them and follow inside. You can find the last letter on the floor, sadly not containing text anymore. A bit further you can now also find a charm called R.P.D. If you check the windows of the ruins in front of you, you can also find another Mr. Raccoon figure looking through a window. I definitively missed that one. Looking at the basketball court, it's time now for a final match. The court itself is locked at this point, but you can walk through the wreckage on the left side and trigger a cutscene leading to a boss fight. Defeat the tyrant and you will be rewarded with the achievement I Remember That Too, like Leon was saying earlier in the cutscene. Afterwards you should also check the basketball court. On the left side you can see a broken basketball hoop, while in the middle of the court you can find a head from a broken figure. Now put the head through the hoop, and once successful you can interact with it and read "There is no time for playing around." Now open the fenced gate of the basketball court to get back to the Gunshop Kendo, where you found a pump-action shotgun. In the rubble on the left you can now find a figure. After interacting with it, it tells you just ignore A, which is clearly a reference for the final puzzle. Now it's also time to do everything you wanted in the R.P.D area. Otherwise continue where the tyrant died and get into the orphanage. After going through the orphanage, you will encounter your first Plant 43 seedling within this game while walking through a train section. Beside of some loot, there is nothing of interest, but at the end you will reach a loot box and a rope to get further down. Now it counts. This is a straightforward area and has only a few sideways with loot. But more important is that your achievement requires to kill all 43 seedlings. On your way through this area, make sure to also check the sideways. The corridors are narrow at this point. You should get the achievement Not Today Buds before reaching the more spacious part of the underground. Speaking of more spacious area, after some fights you will jump down and trigger a fight against a big Plant 43. After defeating this one and going through the service entrance, you will automatically be rewarded with the story achievement called Umbrella's Legacy. After defeating the Plant 43 and reaching the Ark, you end up in the loading dock. Simply follow the way until you reach the split of the hallway. Turn left and go inside the green room. Inside you can find a saving and supply management option, but also a file called NO-AH status report on a terminal. If you go out the room again towards the other side of the hallway, you should check the right side next to some trolleys. You can find another Mr. Raccoon standing there. From the last Mr. Raccoon figure, you need to follow the way downstairs through a service corridor and server room until you reach a PC in a connected room. After interacting with the PC, you need to fight against elite units in the server room and later in the stock room. After a successful fight, the doors of the stock room opens and you can turn left into the staff room for saving. Then go on the other side and follow the entrance area upstairs until you reach a double door. Instead, turn right and go through the single door. Here you can find 3 computers with files to read: the product catalogs 1 and 2 and the Raccoon City bioweapon report. All 3 of them are needed for the achievement. Once you're done, get through the other door, defeat the commander, get back upstairs and follow the corridor inside the central refining system where a cutscene will be triggered. Once the cutscene in the dump area is done, you play again as Grace, and with that you are automatically rewarded with the final mission achievement. Starting in the dump area, get lifted up by Leon, drop out of the vents and you end up in the dump control room. You will find out that you need an override key and follow the stairs leading into the lab entrance. This is your safe room. After passing or fighting some zombies and lickers, you will reach the chemical storage for the override key and can get back through the shortcut door towards the lab entrance. Then follow the way back to the control room, lose the override key to get the magnetic key, get back to the lab entrance and open the door to the lobby with the magnetic key. I recommend to store the key in the storage box now. In the lobby, turn left and check the monitor control room behind the next door. Inside you can find a safe but no code yet. Some materials and also a new crafting recipe for acid bottles are waiting for you. Last but not least, you can also find a new file for your achievement. It's called Access Log 51st Assembly Minutes. If you leave the monitor control room to the left and cross the anteroom to get downstairs, you will reach an open container on the right side. Beside of some herbs, you will also find the file number 71, which is the sterilization chamber safe code. Now it gets a little bit tricky. If you turn around, you will find yourself in the bioweapon repository 05, which is full of liquors and also some other bolt-head zombies. But every container has also some items in it. For example, another hip pouch. Some others have also zombies in it. But for the next file, you want to check the container in the middle of the room at the right wall. I recommend to get rid of the first 2 liquors by luring them somewhere via empty bottles so you can kill both with 1 acid bottle, not like me in the video. Another zombie will also be alarmed, but you can lure him outside to kill him with the pistol if the first 2 are down. Do the same with the zombie in the middle of the room, a bit closer to the stairs. Once the path is clear, sneak into the already open container and check the file which is giving you the monitor control room safe code. At the end of the bioweapon repository 05, you can get upstairs into the operations room. Beside of a typewriter for saving, you can find a monitor on the left side which gives you the floor plan of the ARC lab after interacting. But way more important, you can find the last of 25 Mr. Raccoon figures next to it. Additionally, you will also get the white noblesse orb which you need for accessing the archives. After getting the orb from the operations room, it's time to get back to the lobby. Just make sure to not get eaten by the lickers. I sneaked through the upper area, dropped down on the left side and distracted the lickers after getting upstairs with a bottle. Once you're back in the lobby, go into the monitor control room and open the safe and then get to the archives and drop the first orb. Now take the magnetic key again, clean up your inventory and go back to the sterilization chamber on the right side. You can go back to the safe and open it. This is the last safe you can open in the game and you should have gotten the achievement No Safe is Safe if you follow this guide. Also you can get inside the clean room now. Be aware that the liquors moving different and also the bolt-head zombies lying on the beds in the sterilization chamber are waking up now. Get inside the clean room, take the red orb, kill the appearing bolt-heads, get out of that area and drop the red orb inside the archive door mechanics for the final showdown. After getting into the archives, you should check the interactable PC on the right side of the room. There's one of them where you can find the last missable file called Access Log First Assembly Minutes. The last 2 files for your achievement case closed you will get after interacting with the main PC and watching the video files. Back to Leon, there's also one more thing to do. Instead of wiping all the liquors, you can also let one try to catch you with his tongue. If you then parry his attack with the hatchet, you will cut it off and get the achievement called cat got your tongue. Unfortunately, I did not hit my record button, so I have no footage when getting this achievement, but I think you will be fine. In my playthrough, I decided to not release R.P.D as first ending. For this, the entire boss fight will be skipped, and with this you're also missing out an additional achievement called Hope and Requiem. If you want to get this, then you need to release R.P.D and finish the fight. Also, the credit scenes are a bit more visualized then, which makes me believe this is the canon ending. There is an autosave right before the decision. Depending on what difficulty you played, you get between 1 and 3 achievements. Rookie Agent for at least on Casual, Rising Agent for at least on Standard Modern, and Resolute Agent for at least on Standard Classic. Finishing the game on a higher difficulty will automatically grant you also the achievement of the lower selection. I recommend to play on Standard Classic either way, as using the ink ribbon save mechanic is a more traditional approach of playing Resident Evil, and still it's relatively fair in regard to saves overall through the game. Let's get to all the achievements that either needed a separate playthrough or that simply did not fit into my guide style. There are plenty of areas where you can get the achievement bang for your buck, but in my main playthrough it simply never was the right time. Go to any area where you have the Requiem, lure the zombies out and shoot at least 3 of them in the head with a single bullet. This is also possible in the intro. With finishing the game the first time, you should be able to do a challenge run. But before doing so, I would recommend to do at least most of the achievements that I described already, so you can at least buy the Unbreakable Knife for grace. In my case, I tried to get Minimalist, that was not allowing to use the Blood Collector, Never Touch the Stuff by not using any herbs or med injectors, Speed Demon to finish the game including the end boss in under 4 hours, and Credit where credit is due by collecting 200k credits in total. I had around 160 to 170k collected after my first playthrough. I'm not sure if getting this one in one run would be possible, but in my second run it was no problem at all. Also be aware that previously collected weapons for Leon can't be collected in the world again, for example the shotgun or sniper. You need to buy them in the supply box, otherwise you won't have them with you in the corresponding section, like for example a chunk or the rooftop. The challenge run can be done on casual, which I recommend, but having the game finished the first time is a clear recommendation, otherwise you don't know what to expect. Sadly, I needed around 4.5 hours, so I did not get the Speed Demon achievement in that run. However, I wasted plenty of time in Raccoon City as I lost track where to go next. Also in the care center I wasted plenty of time, so I'm sure this can be done without unlimited ammo in under 4 hours. Might be close but not impossible. I did it then with unlimited ammo in 3.5 hours. I also uploaded my main playthrough 17 plus hours, my challenge run attempt with 4.5 hours and also my unlimited ammo Speed Demon run, and linked them into this video, so feel free to check them out if you're interested. There are also 2 achievements that you can get from the menu, but both of them require to use challenge point to unlock something, and you need to invest more as you get out again. For the Curator, you need to buy and view every concept art. For Model Mania, you need to buy and view every model. As the game does not care about how long you view them, you can simply buy all and speed scroll through them. Unlocking them takes a lot of clicks though. After finishing all the achievements before, there's still one more challenge we prepared a lot for but still haven't finished yet. I'm talking about the final puzzle, and so let me explain what we found out until now and how to solve the last challenge. We collected the hand of the girl that brought us the code GGC, AAG, AUA, ACG, UGU and CAU. During our investigation we found out that G is equal 150 million, U equals 380,000, C equals 4.2 LY, and A was not used. This leads to the new code GGC, GUC, GUG, UCU. Since there was no typing field on a PC, there must be some other mechanism to use this code. And the only thing we know where we could interact with having at least 3 values to use are the quartz riddle machines. This leads to the fact that G, U and C stand for something in regard to the 3 symbols, sun, moon and star. Turns out that the sun is around 150 million kilometers away from the Earth. The moon is roughly 380,000 kilometers away from the Earth, and the next known star outside our galaxy is 4.2 light years away from the Earth. This leads us to the following code: Sun Sun Star, Sun Moon Star, Sun Moon Sun, and Moon Star Moon. With this information we need to get into a new playthrough and check the storage box. You will find in there a doll, as it said it will be with you forever now. Then play the game until you can carry Emily with you and bring her into the lead researcher's office in the second floor of the East Wing. By carrying her and having the doll in your inventory, use the code on the riddle machine and you hear a voice. With this you finally solve the challenge worth 20k points. Last but not least, there's also one final achievement which is missing in this guide so far: playing the game on Insanity difficulty. You get this mode selection once you finish the game at least once. As I was busy with creating this guide, I haven't played it yet, but once I did, I will put it also here on YouTube. Enemies are way stronger there, blisterheads get around from the beginning already, and items are not at the same spot as they have been before. Also the codes for the save changed, so enjoy the ride. What a journey, guys and girls, but after 2 intensive weeks I finally finished the Resident Evil Requiem guide now, and I hope it could help you and also get everything connected and to hit the 100%. I'm not sure at which game will be covered next, as creating such videos is way more complex as it might seem from the outside, but maybe you have an idea about what you want to see next on this channel, so let me know in the comments. Let me also know in the comments if the video actually helped you, and also consider hitting the like and subscribe button if you want to support me. This being said, happy Easter everybody, and see you in the next video. Just keep it real.